Welcome to Bruce Hurwitz Presents Meet the Experts. I'm your host, Bruce Hurwitz of Hurwitz Strategic Staffing. You can find us on the web at hsstaffing.com. I hope you'll consider us for all your staffing, career counseling, and professional writing needs. Momentarily, I will be joined by Brad Warren, and we will be discussing building generational wealth by investing in land. Meet the Experts is sponsored by P&K CPAs. P&K is a full-service accounting firm. They provide accounting and consulting services to businesses ranging from startups to small and mid-cap companies to nonprofits, as well as high net worth individuals. Contact them today for a free consultation at info@pk-cpas.com or call them at 973-882-8810. They will be happy to be of service. Brad, welcome to the show.
Great. Thanks very much for having me.
My pleasure. Please take a moment or two and introduce yourself to our viewers.
Sure. My name is Brad Warren. I live in Castro Valley, California, in the San Francisco Bay Area. I had about a 40-year career as a successful business coach, mostly in the real estate world. And now I'm what's called, I sell dirt. That's what I tell people when they say, what do you do? I'm a land banking consultant, and I help patient investors build generational wealth by investing in land.
I've had one experience with land. When I worked for a nonprofit, a very nice man donated to us a parcel of land that had a small house, cottage, whatever you want to call it, mid-upstate New York. And it looked very nice. The building was in okay shape. And the land was fine. The neighborhood was rural. And then I got an education. There was an oil tank buried on the land.
Yeah.
Oil tanks have to be removed.
Yes, they do. Very expensively.
Yes. If I remember correctly, this was a long time ago, we sold the land, which blew me away, for $80,000. I think because we were a nonprofit, the real estate agent gave us a break. And after getting rid of the tank, and I don't think there was anything else, we netted about 60 grand. So for a nonprofit, that's good money.
Yep.
But when somebody is thinking of investing in land, and they go out and they see this parcel of land, building on it, no building on it, they can't see what's underneath. So how can someone know that the land they are considering buying is worth buying?
Great question. I'll answer it very briefly. First of all, the land that we sell is just dirt. There are no buildings. There's nothing but cacti, maybe some sagebrush, a couple of bushes, something like that. But more importantly, Bruce, we have an entire research and acquisition department at the company I work with. It's called Valor Enterprises. And that research and acquisition department looks at land all day long, day in and day out. That's their job. They do exhaustive research. And we only buy, we meaning our company, actually buys the land first to make sure that it's a good purchase. We only buy 1 out of every 30 that we look at, for the very reason that you brought up. We find hidden gas tanks underneath. We find that they're in a sensitive ecological area, meaning like there's a red-legged toad or a tortoise, and that land is completely undevelopable. There may be an easement granted to the power company to build a road through the middle of the land. You won't see that on any map, but we own maps that are so old they're on microfiche. We have a whole map room that's under lock and key. Only the CEO and the COO can get in there. And those maps we acquired decades ago, they have information on them that no one else in LA County and the city of LA have. In fact, LA County and the city call us when they have a land use issue in the areas where we invest, because they know that we can do this incredible research. So when we sell a property to our investors, I should say, they know that it is a quality piece of land in the path of growth, which is another topic we can get to hopefully later in the interview. And they're assured that it's not going to have any of these what we call hidden landmines.
That's why the word confidence is so large in the poster behind you.
You bet.
I'm just curious. It's a little bit off topic, but if you have microfiche and paper maps, God forbid you have a fire, why wouldn't you move it all digitize it all?
I have no idea. That is up to the CEO. He's a very old-fashioned kind of guy, and I'm sure it's been suggested to him.
Huh?
I don't know how they would do that, how to turn microfiche into digital, but I guess somebody could do it. But yeah, you're right. That should be done so that, God forbid, if there ever is a fire in the building, that room doesn't burn down, because that is one of the keys to our business.
It's funny that people think that money is the most important asset of a company, but it's data. In your case, it's the maps.
Knowledge, information, data, your absolute data,
And
pajamas.
and how many people today know how to fold a paper map? Of course, I never was able to, but that's beside the point. You remember triptychs? AAA?
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Off topic.
We're dating ourselves here, right?
Yeah.
Let's go back to dirt.
Let's go back to dirt. If what you're selling, so someone is investing in, as you said, dirt.
Correct.
Why would they do that?
Well, first of all, our minimum investment is only $25,000. So it's actually very affordable to what we call the average investor. That's who we're looking for. We're not looking for the uber wealthy. They've already made their money. We're interested in helping average investors. Second of all, there's many different ways you can invest. Most of my clients use retirement funds. It's called a self-directed IRA or a self-directed Roth, a dormant 401k from a previous job. You can use that money, not a regular IRA. It has to be what's called a self-directed IRA. Not going to get into the details now, but you can buy the money because our hold period is a bit on the longer side. We tell people on average 7 to 10 years. So this is not get rich quick. This is not overnight success. This is buy and hold, set it and forget it, lazy person's way of investing. So that's why a retirement fund is a good way to do it. But because you're waiting, you're also getting better returns. Generally speaking, our investors get anywhere from 3 to 7x, not 3 to 7%, 3 to 7 times their initial investment. So even on a $25,000 investment, you can expect 75 to 175,000 in that range. And by the way, we offer free negotiation coaching. So when it comes time to work with that developer, they call you up and they say, "Hi, Bruce, we see you own 2 acres of land in the Antelope Valley at such and such an address. It's out in the middle of nowhere. We see you paid the $32,000 and we'll offer you 40." You think, wow, I made $8,000 in like 3 years, 4 years. This is great. No, that land is worth way more. They're trying to steal it. We will help you negotiate with them by giving you questions to ask them. We may have other investors who have already been offered 80, 100, 120 for the same size parcel in the same area because we've got investors right near you. Well, you don't know that. They don't know that, but we will help you. So a lot of reasons to invest with us. The due diligence, the fact that we only invest in, for those that are watching, behind me is a map of Southern California. There's a white circle, which is a 60-mile radius drawn around downtown LA. We only invest in that area. We've been doing it for 44 years, and we're experts. And there are 10 growth factors, all occurring at the same time inside that circle, that make it an ideal place to invest for the future.
I thought, and don't be insulted because my eyesight is terrible, but that circle was the moon.
Nope. It highlights LA and Burbank, and up here is Lancaster and Palmdale.
That's funny.
Ontario and Anaheim and Irvine. And most of our investing is up in the top portion of the circle. which is what's called Northern LA County. LA County people think of LA.
Yeah,
okay,
no, I know.
But you got LA on the south of the San Andreas Mountains,
Mhm.
the San Andreas Forest and the mountains where the Hollywood sign is. That's LA proper. The
Mhm.
land there, you're talking 2 to 7 million an acre, if there's even any land left in LA, and there's not.
Yeah.
But the northern half of LA County is mostly where we're investing because of these growth factors. Job increase, infrastructure investment, close to a port. Los Angeles and Long Beach harbors are like the second or third busiest in the United States. All the goods from the China and South Korea and Japan is all coming in to that port. And then it gets put in a warehouse. We sell land that people eventually sell to a warehouse builder like Amazon. They need these giant, what are called fulfillment centers. They have to be close to a major metropolitan area because guess what? We want it now, right? You order on Amazon, you want it the next day, or maybe even the same day. Sometimes you get it the same day. Well, the goods have to be stored someplace close enough to be delivered. And these warehouse builders are paying extraordinary. We have people that bought warehouse land for 60 cents, $1 per square foot.
Mhm.
And they're selling now for 20, 30, 100 per square foot. I mean, that's ridiculous. I can't promise that, of course, but we have examples of people getting way more than 7 times their investment.
I want to make sure I understood correctly. Is it possible to put the land investment into an IRA?
Yes, remember I said it has to be what's called a self-directed IRA, individual retirement account. You can set one up. We have 3 companies that we like to work with because they understand how to title the land. You have to be very careful because actually the IRA, the self-directed IRA company, they actually own the land. I don't really own my land. It's owned by my IRA for the benefit of me. And so they have to take it out of that title when they go to sell it, so that Bradley is selling them the land, not the IRA. So it's complicated, but it's sort of complicated, but it's fairly simple. The IRA company knows what to do. So my IRA company has my retirement funds, and I tell them I want to buy crypto, I want to buy stocks, I want to buy bonds. But with a self-directed IRA company, you're allowed to also buy real estate, shopping centers, land, single-family residence. So 9 out of the 11 investments in land that my wife and I have are in a self-directed Roth, and the other 2 are in a regular self-directed traditional IRA. So 2 are tax deferred, 9 are tax free. That's why we love these self-directed IRAs. I sell my land, Uncle Sam gets no more money. Gavin Newsom, governor of California, gets no more tax. It's all mine.
So that was going to be my next question. So there's no federal tax, and at least in California, there's no state tax. There may be state tax in other jurisdictions.
It depends what, again, I'm not giving financial advice.
No, I understand that.
They should talk to your sponsors, your CPAs. But if it's in a self-directed Roth IRA, then you, the owner of that Roth IRA, will pay no capital gain tax on the sale price, on the difference between what you paid and what you sell it for. You will not pay. On a regular self-directed IRA, it's tax deferred, meaning you won't pay tax at that time. The money goes back into your IRA. Then when you withdraw it from the IRA, that's when you pay Uncle Sam. But you can determine how much you pull out at once. You don't have to pay it all at once. So we love those kinds of legal ways to invest, like the wealthy do, that help you avoid either defer or avoid taxes. But that's another whole topic that we don't coach people on. We tell them, talk to your CPA.
Yeah, no. And that's a sign that you're intelligent.
Yes.
Who should invest in land?
Well, I've turned away a couple of older people. I started investing when I was 61. I'm now 72. And I'm totally happy. I plan to be around for a while. If not, my daughter is going to be a very, very, very wealthy woman if my wife and I pass away and we don't cash in on the land, she'll get it and then she'll sell it. So generally speaking, I don't work with people in their 70s, 80s like that, but anybody that has money that we call patient money that can sit for 7 to 10 years is what we tell people is the average hold. It could be less and it could be more, but it can't be somebody that needs the money for their kids' college education. I don't want them calling me up saying, Brad, I got to sell my land right now. I said, well, what's going on? I told you 7 to 10 years. It's only been 5 years. Oh, my daughter's going to a more expensive college and we need the money. Well, I can't help you. If there's no market for your land yet, nobody is building anything in that area. You got to wait a little longer. So that's a bad thing to have happen. It can't be a midlife crisis. They want to buy a Lamborghini. They want to go on a around the world cruise. They got a hip replacement, a shoulder replacement, and they need the money for that. Then don't invest with us. But if you're a patient investor and you have money that can sit for 7 to 10 years without you needing it for anything, and you want returns that are very, very healthy, very generous, then that would be the kind of person I'm looking for to invest.
So it's basically someone, let's just use the 25,000 as the sum.
Yep.
Someone who in no foreseeable way would need that $25,000 over the course of the upcoming 7 years. So if they have an elderly parent who is going to have a medical crisis, or a child who could, God forbid, be hurt, somebody wanting to send their child to college.
Hopefully they have a 529 plan set up for the kid for college. Hopefully they've got insurance for the medical parts, maybe long-term care. You know, maybe they help their parents get long-term care insurance when it was affordable, not when they're in their 80s. It's too late to buy it then.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, they again, you said the word foreseeable. Obviously, you don't know every situation that's going to happen, but generally speaking, that's the kind of person we're looking for. You can also do a 1031 exchange. I don't know if you or your listeners are familiar with that.
I'm not.
1031 exchange is the tax code 1031, the United States Federal Tax Code, Section 1031. It allows a person who owns real estate and sells it. Can't be a single family residence that they're living in, but let's say a shopping center or a quadplex, or they own a rental or something like that, or they own land and they want to sell that land, but defer the capital gains tax. They buy a replacement property that's at or above the price that they sold it for. So let's say they buy from us a $25,000 property, they sell it for 100. Now they go and they buy a duplex for 100. So they take the 100, they buy the duplex. They don't owe Uncle Sam the difference of the capital gains on the 75,000 difference. They don't owe Uncle Sam that tax at that point. Now they have $100,000 invested in a duplex. Let's say in a few years they sell that duplex for $500,000 and they buy a 10-unit apartment building. Let's say they just use it for the down payment. Mm-hmm. Now they've got a 10-unit apartment building with cash flow every month. Some of it goes to pay the rest of the mortgage, but they still don't pay Uncle Sam. And they might never pay Uncle Sam if they give that building to their kids, and the kids live off the cash flow. So these are some of the strategies of the rich, called a 1031 exchange. It's done with like kind, meaning real estate to real estate, single family residence to land, land to a duplex, duplex to a shopping center, whatever. As long as it's real estate to real estate, you can use a 1031, but you got to set it up before you sell the property. I had one person call me and said, Brad, I just sold one of my properties. I want to do a 1031 exchange to buy land. I'm hitting myself in, oh, you needed to call me before you closed. I told you that. They didn't listen or they forgot. So make sure you.
Uncle Sam gets nothing and Uncle Gavin gets nothing.
Well, no, at that point, well, yeah, with the 1031, they wouldn't have gotten anything. Yeah. But this person now had to pay the capital gains tax on the increase.
Understood. Now, I made you a promise that we would finish before noon your time.
I got a couple minutes still.
I know. And I have one final question.
Okay, great.
So I want to put up your contact information. And there we are.
Yep.
Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you wish I had asked you? And if I had asked you, what would you have said?
Well, we covered quite a bit. People have a general idea. We do educate first. One of the things I haven't shared, Bruce, is you can't just email me and say, Brad, I've got $25,000 sitting in the bank earning 0 interest. I'm losing money because of inflation. I want to buy land right now. I would say, great. We would get together on a Zoom call, and you have to watch we call Land Banking 101 1-hour presentation that answers 95% of the questions, some of which we've covered today. Where's the land? How do you find it? What are those 10 growth factors? Can I invest with friends? Can I use a 1031 exchange? How long do I have to wait? What are the risks? Yada, yada, yada. 95% of the questions get answered in that 1-hour presentation. Then once they've watched that, then they call me. I would introduce them to my land banker, my business partner, and my land banker who I bought land from 11 years ago, Marcella Silva. And she and they would get on a call, and she would kind of vet them. Are they nice? Are they patient? Do we see any difficulty with working with them? Because we're going to be business partners probably for a decade. We want nice people. That's my first criteria, Bruce. You got to be nice. You got to be patient, and you have to have $25,000. And then we educate you, and then you're allowed to buy land. The other last thing that I'll say is I do pay referral fees. So hopefully you'll hook me up with your CPA friends. If your CPA friends become what we call a finder, they would get 2% of the gross sales price of anybody that they refer to me that buys. And you actually would get 1% for having introduced me to them. I only go 2 levels. I can't go any more than that. But it's 2% to the finder, the person that directly refers the business to me. And if that finder was referred to me, then the person that referred the finder would also make 1% on every deal. It's not once and then thank you, Bruce. It was very nice to introduce me. Have a nice day. You get paid every time that person buys a property. So
many people will tell you that I am not nice and that I am impatient. So it's the whole thing's moot. Brad, thank you. I have never had anyone on before discussing this type of topic, and I think I found the best. So thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you very much, and hope to hear from some of your listeners.
I'm Bruce Hurwitz. Thank you for watching, and as always, please stay focused on success.